Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. Hope you're getting off to a good start for your weekend. Just a quick announcement to make regarding Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's upcoming Netflix summer movie coming out in May. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and check out the links in the description. Hit the notification bell so you're aware when I'm posting new videos or doing a live stream. But that quick announcement that I wanted to share with you guys today is, again, for Army of the Dead, the Netflix movie that will be kicking off a new, kind of, I guess you would call it a franchise, a new world that Zack Snyder is kind of starting on Netflix. We'll have a spin-off prequel movie as well as a animated series. So he shared a new poster today and then also announced that a new trailer will drop on Tuesday. So here's a look at the poster. All of the posters have been colorful. They've all been like, they've had these, this theme of like this bright pink and like purples and, bright colors, which is pretty cool. They remind me a lot of the David Ayer Suicide Squad colors and stuff like that's kind of what I think of a lot when I see like the marketing and the colors on the teaser that we got. That's what it reminds me of. So it's pretty, and even in the teaser itself, there was like some bright colors with explosions and stuff, so they all have a really cool look to them. This one's pretty different. This one's more like an animated looking cartoon style drawn poster with a skeleton hand. There's some like gold with cards, a little gold jewelry down here looking, some rings, some bling, a card that says always bet on dead, one of the catchphrases I guess you would say that Zack has been using associated with Army of the Dead. And then just some credits here: Zack Snyder film, story by Zack Snyder, screenplay by Zack Snyder, Shay Hatton and Joby Harold, directed by Zack Snyder. So May 21st on Netflix. It is rated R. So it'll be a summer movie. And we've had a teaser, but this will be, I guess, like a full-length trailer. It was a pretty short teaser, I think, if I remember correctly. I think it was like a minute long or something like that, the last one we got. But seems like this one will be a full-length trailer, which it comes out in a little over a month, so I think it's probably a good time now for them to have a full-length trailer. I don't know how many they will have. I'm not really sure how many trailers Netflix typically has for their originals, for their original films. So I'm not sure. Maybe they'll get one more. I don't think they would just do one. They're pretty much on like cinematic level now with marketing and the the directors that they work with, the actors that they work with. Oh, and speaking of that, it will also be in select theaters. That was another thing that Zack mentioned recently about Army of the Dead. It will be in select theaters. I don't know where those theaters are located that it will be released in. I don't know how long the theatrical run will be. If it would be like a traditional theatrical run for, movies that are released in cinemas, or if it will be like a limited time. I'm not really sure about those details, but it will be in select theaters, and I'm guessing when it comes closer to the time of their release, maybe they'll, put out a list or something of theaters that it will be released in. So that's interesting. I don't think Netflix has done that before. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% certain on that, but as far as I'm aware that I can remember, I don't think Netflix has done that. But like I said, I could definitely be wrong about that. So if this is the first movie to be released in select theaters, and maybe some have been, I don't know. Now I'm kind of second guessing myself. Let me know. Let me know if you know of any Netflix original movies that were also released in like select theaters or anything like that, because I'm not really sure. But it is interesting that possibly Netflix could be moving toward having more theatrical releases for their original films. They are definitely the leader in the streaming world, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing even limited theatrical runs or like this one, select theaters. And then I also wanted to share some data with you guys regarding Zack Snyder's Justice League and some other, currently popular or being streaming shows, movies, and stuff like that, but mostly for Zack Snyder's Justice League, because we have yet to still get like concrete numbers from HBO Max or Warner Brothers, or not Warner Brothers, but Warner Media. There's been a lot of third-party services that have put out some form of, analytics or data and stuff like that for these services that keep track of streaming views and, stuff like that. This one is called Synalytic, and this tweet says that Disney Plus's Falcon and Winter Soldier takes #1 in TV for last week's streaming data. Zack Snyder's Justice League performed strongly for this second week in a row. And I think let me see the date for this. This was on March 31st. Okay, this was, the second week of Zack Snyder's Justice League's release. So for the second week, the date there says March 22nd to the 29th. The second week of its release, it was still #1 compared to these other films. This side is movies, this side is TV shows, top 20. So all these different, we see some of the popular streaming services, Disney Plus, some other HBO Max titles, Apple TV, Netflix down here. So Zack Snyder's Justice League was still #1 on the film side for top 20 the second week of its release. And of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier was #1 as the series, TV show. It's been pretty good so far, in my opinion. It's pretty interesting, the story and everything. I think I'm actually more interested in Winter Soldier's story than I expected to be. And then there's they had shared another more recent. This one is from the 8th, so yesterday at the time of making this movie, this video, April 8th. So now by this time, Godzilla vs. Kong is released, and so there's data for that as well. But Zack Snyder's Justice League is still #2 on the top 20 movies side of this chart for March 29th to April 5th. So still, that's not surprising because Godzilla vs. Kong had just been released during that week, during those dates. But still, after, in its third week of release, it's still in the top, 3 for streaming against all. It's not just it's not just on HBO Max, but, when compared to these other titles on other streaming services as well. So it's very interesting to see that. And it's important to note that, let me see if I can find the one that Lightcast had shared, that it says, Synalytic is trusted by these different corporation studios. So let me find that real quick. So here from the Synalytic platform, it says trusted by entertainment industry trailblazers, Ingenious, Sony Pictures, WB, STX Entertainment, some other ones down there. And Lightcast made the note, Warner Brothers uses this platform's business to run data and acquisition forms to better inform critical decisions throughout film's decision to invest more into productions. So you could just say, oh, it's just some third-party data, how do we know that it's legit or it's this or that? Well, if they say here that, these companies, these studios trust their data to make decisions about moving forward with certain properties or, films, TV shows, whatever, WB is one of them. So that's pretty important to point out when you're looking at third-party data, since we haven't received specific data from Warner Media. They want to say, that Godzilla versus Kong broke these, certain records or whatever, or it beat Justice League and stuff like that, but they haven't released specific numbers to show comparisons between the two. The Investors Day is coming up at the end of the month for them, for AT&T, so maybe then we'll get something. I don't know. If we don't get anything at that time, I think we're just going to continue to get third-party stuff and, analytics from countries outside the U.S. and outside of North America that have been sharing more specific details about their analytics and data for Zack Snyder's Justice League. However, if it was a failure as far as numbers and, streaming views or subscriptions or anything like that, if it was a failure in that department, I definitely believe that Warner Brothers or certain critics or people would be blasting that. Certain trades would be flooding the internet with stories about how it's a failure and how it didn't, reach the numbers that they wanted, or it only gained this many views, or that would be definitely, they wouldn't have wasted any time to share that kind of data. So the fact that they haven't shared anything like that is already telling in and of itself. So I just wanted to share that with you guys really quickly while we're on here, and I had seen it not too long ago. Lightcast, like I said, had shared it, and I saw that, so I thought that would be important to share if you're interested. But thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for the support. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out those links in the description. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you soon, and keep a lookout for the Army of the Dead trailer dropping Tuesday. All right. I'll probably be doing a reaction, so see you soon.